It's your boy ConstantBiz34, and today I am here to talk some DMB, talk about the Gorge weekend that happened last weekend I was at, and even talk about some recent shows. This one I will be a little quicker than usual. Been a crazy day. Just I'm a Yankees Patriots fan, which is always interesting. Uh, so I didn't even have a chance to see the Yankees today. They won. Um, Antonio Brown went from being set to go for the Raiders to now he is on my Patriots. Look, we probably cheated. Like, look, this is one time where you could say, look, we probably cheated to get this. I don't know how the heck this happened. Um, something happened where illegally, allegedly, you know. But hey, I mean, the Patriots have AB, man. If he could only play um, tomorrow night versus the Steelers, just to get them aggy, just to get them a little upset because the Steelers historically. Here's the thing: Steelers don't play well when they're emotional. No one wants to talk about it. The Steelers are trash when they're emotional. When they didn't come out for the anthem, regardless of what you think of politics, they lost that game. When they have nothing, when they don't have any emotions binding them, they actually do win some games. When they play out of emotion, they're trash under Mike Tomlin. That's just how they are. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But having AB on there, just to be like physically there, even if he wasn't in any plays, um, would just be such a mental thing in their mind to get them off their game. But anyway, let's stop talking about AB. But that's one off. And oh yeah, then I was at a festival today with coming back late now. It's 10:06 Eastern. But I want to talk about the Gorge, and I've been all over the place. My day impression has been just, you know, the whole weekend. I just was so captured how great it was. My day impression has been, yo, where are all the rare songs? Looking back, I had a great weekend. I'm looking back, yo, where's the Stone? Where's Say Goodbye? Where was Joyride? Like, you can't get none of those for the Gorge weekend. The 62 songs, no repeats. My day impression has been simply what the heck happened to these sets. But in the moment of being at the Gorge, I had the time of my life. So that's what I'm going through right now. Talking to is nice to see you on there, and hope all is well with you. I know you've been busy recently, so I just hope you're doing well and you're able to have some time between everything for you. But salute to you. I know you've been doing the set list game. Uh, I don't think I don't think they'll play come tomorrow again, but who knows? Maybe maybe they will. But yeah, my day impression has really just been like, yo, look at all the songs we missed. When I was at the Gorge, I was like, I don't care what they play. I was just so excited in the moment. I wasn't yelling out songs that weren't played. But I look back and I have no regrets. Like the weekend was worth it. Work at night. You're at work. Wedding next Saturday. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy that time at work then. If you got a lot going on for a wedding. Is it wait? Talking to is it your wedding? Because I know you're engaged. Is it a friend's wedding? Is it your wedding? That's a whole different thing. If it's your wedding, but it's a friend's. It's still. Oh, you're talking to my guy. He getting wiped up next week. Okay, congratulations, then. I didn't realize your actual wedding was coming up. So that's probably why you've been so crazy. But I appreciate the support. Even I know I've been zombieing all week. I know you've been texting me and stuff, and I'll hit you up more. I know you've been. I'm trying to get back to this time zone, and I was flying and all this stuff earlier this week, so I know you was giving input. But we'll definitely have to chat on the backside throughout this next week as well. But I want to start off with the first topic since we have a little time and I have to be short-winded. The number one thing that shocked me with the Gorge was the lawn's vibe. Now, people were excited. They threw glow sticks in the air. That was one of the complaints. At the top of the Gorge Hill, right? Kids and adults themselves are throwing glow sticks. I mean, there had to be thousands of glow sticks literally at the Gorge. Thousands. Because what you saw, like at a big moment of a song, first song, the sixth song, the 10th song, glow sticks were just being thrown in the air, 50 or 60 of them at a time. And it's like, oh, cool, the air's lighting up, but like it would hit people down below. And I was in the spot both night one and night three where none of them hit me because I was like in the middle, but the people at the bottom of the hill being hit by the people at the top of the hill on some sucker stuff. Um, Glow sticks are cool, but the fact people say they hurt at the gorge when you're getting them from a steep drop downhill and it's going up in the air, getting some height, and then boom right at you. But long story short, the crowd was not as loud and rowdy for everything as I thought they would be. The crowd was excited. They were happy, Crush, and even like Watchtower, which I'll talk about in a moment. That was one of the biggest moments of people being loud. It wasn't Cortez or 41. Now in the lower level, when I was down there for night two, the lower level was just lit the whole time. Okay, lower level was lit for no matter what. But the top level, the fans were not that like Hartford. I've seen Hartford lawns rowdier. I've seen Mansfield lawns more rowdier, being in both those lawns, and that was a good thing in a shocking thing at the same time. Why it was good is because people don't shut up sometimes. The rowdy lawns can be annoying. Rowdy lawns, when you can have fun in this, but if rowdy lawns start spilling stuff and they get in your way and they're pushing you and shoving you in a tight lawn, it's frustrating. But even the everyday chant, the honey, honey, yeah, 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 come and dance with me, da 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 da. Yeah, Buddy was killing it, man. And every day is not one of my oh I have to see this songs, but Buddy, both times I heard it this year, I think it was in Mansfield and then also in at the Gorge. No, people love that. You take them to church, but they weren't singing it as consistent. Someone was like, come on, guys," and then people kind of, all right, fine. But like the lawn was not as lit as I thought it would be. I thought, okay, you have your hardcore fans pretty much making up the majority of this crowd, and these some of these fans, to their credit, at the lawn they had been there 3 or 4 times to the gorge, but they just weren't as rowdy as East Coast crowds. And that's what I learned the entire weekend going to a Yankees Mariners game with my Yankees there. Mariners fans were pretty lax and respectful. They cheered for their team, but they weren't much of like, oh, you Yankees suck. Da, 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 da. All across the East Coast, all we hear is Yankees suck. What shocked me about the Gorge the most was how quiet the crowd was during the rare songs and how they weren't really rowdy during some of the like chants that they have. You like even Jimmy thing, there people were singing it, but it wasn't as loud as the Hartford line sings Jimmy thing. So, but the lower level, night two, I was down there for night two. That lower level was lit. The pit, the seats, whatever. But even in the lower level, some fans were not knowledgeable about the music. And that's the number one thing. My takeaway from the Gorge is a lot of the fans were not hardcore on the knowledgeable end of the band. In the lawn, let's go to night one, looking at the set list. Okay. So we have Crush got some, Seek Up, people were happy. Come Tomorrow, I went to the bathroom. What would you say? Got some stuff. Rooftop got some dancing. Do you remember? I should have went to the bathroom again. I didn't. And then Crush got some nice singing. Yeah, da, 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 da. Like that was lit. Spot 7 on the lawn. This is the first thing I will remember about the Gorge lawn. Drunken Soldiers chords start getting played. And I have a bad tendency to be fanboyish and go, oh my God, Drunken Soldier. Oh my God, Captain. Like if you look at my Captain video from last year, I apologize. I'm like, yo, Captain is lit. Yo, Captain. Oh, Captain, look at me. I'm the captain now. Look at me. DMB doing a red song. Yeah. Like I was going nuts. Drunken Soldier comes on. I literally am like, that's Drunken Soldier. Crickets, fam. Crickets in the lawn. I'm like, that's Drunken Soldier. And it gave me flashbacks to when I saw it in 2013 a couple times. Crickets. Crickets. Now, down low, fans look like they were lit. The video from the fans down low, my video is far farther back. The fans down low, they was lit. Okay, they was excited. I heard people say, yes, woo! One of the biggest moments, and that was the biggest surprise to me all weekend. I knew we were playing Court. I know the Cortez was going to be played. I tried to keep good karma by saying, guys, don't jinx it. But I knew it was being played. I knew that Warren was going to be on something else. I'm glad it wasn't Jimmy Nails. Ooh. But Drunken Soldiers, that was Drunken Soldier, not soldiers. Crickets in the lawn. Crickets. People were still moving and a little, and when it got upbeat, and everyone was like, yeah, oh, that's cool. Crickets in the lawn for Drunken Soldier. Now, Two Step comes on in the encore. Fans are lit. PNP Rapunzel. Okay, yeah. But crickets. Let's flash to night 2, and I'm going to tell you about an interesting thing again, showing how lack of hardcore fans are. And that's a good thing. I think too much of a hardcore fan base can be more disgusting than good. And I'm one of those hardcore dudes saying, someone said Carter was 62. I'm like, no, technically Carter was 60. It was kind of a jerk move by me to say it. But in the comments, I had to correct them. I probably shouldn't have done it. That was a jerk move. But like someone's like, Carter is 62. I'm like, man, he's 60. I know that because I've been trying to figure out how old he is. And I noticed he's around the age I saw Neil Peart at in his last tour in his 60s. So night 2, right? Bayou starts off, and okay, I was trying to be in the moment and happy, but looking back, I'm like, why did Bayou have to start a Gorge show? For what? Why did Bayou have, like, what? For what? If they started with the Bayou Jam, that's one thing. Dun, 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 dun. We don't freaking need Bayou have being an opener at the Gorge. Boy, Bayou, like what else? But so much to say, Bridge, too much. Everyone kind of knew that. You Never Know comes, and people were excited, but some people didn't know what it was around me. And then again and again, and then the satellite off-key intro. These beautiful, wonderful women to the right of me who were great seat neighbors and dancing and cool. Everyone around me was really dope for the seats. By the way, Gorge seats, get the pit or get lawn if you can. If you can get seats at a good price, get them. But those seats are so packed tight in. If something went off, if some crazy dude did something or set fire, I would be scared for my safety because it's so tight in there. So people running would trample me. So, but anyway, long story short, they're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a satellite off-key intro." She's like, "Oh, word." And like she had been, like, "This is your first Gorge?" I was like, "Yeah," but she had been to the Gorge a couple times. She didn't know the satellite off-key intro. So the fans don't know, and she didn't know again. Then after I kind of said, "Yep, that's satellite off-key." Dave and Tim does it. The band does it. It did it during the DMB 2 sets a lot, but so she didn't know that was going to be satellite. And that can be a little bit of a higher curve, but she didn't know again and again. And she didn't know You Never Know. What You Never Know is a rare song. But still, this is someone sitting in seats for the biggest night, the biggest crowd of the night of the Gorge is Saturday. Sunday was less crowded. The traffic was less crowded. So this is the biggest night of the Gorge, one of the biggest nights of the year. Although I think there were better night twos in a lot of other venues. And I'm blessed to see Cortez. But there are a lot, the set, it was still a lot of great gems in there. Fish Tender for sure, but Bayou opener, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so she didn't know this stuff, and she's sitting next to me. So that was a shot night 2. And night 2, you can see I have reviews of that, but the Fish Tender was dope. Pig E1 spot was the best E1 of the Gorge weekend. And then night 3, Funky Raven comes on. Funky Raven. And even So Right before it didn't have as much energy as Hartford or Mansfield has had for So Right. And I've had So Right. This year was Hartford, I believe. Last year or the year before that was one of these years I heard it at Mansfield. I think I heard it a couple times. I can't remember. But I've seen So Right a couple times. Much more lit in Mansfield. And much more lit in Hartford than it was at the lawn for night 3. Okay. That was the only really Write a Song had some people that knew it, and that was before that. But Proudest Monkey, nice to get it, but if I had to have any tour debut, Proudest Monkey wouldn't be as high up. But just an interesting crowd again. throwing glow sticks, excited. A lot of more kids than I thought, but it is kid friendly. Being at these venues, a lot more kid friendly than the East Coast. So a lot of kids, but it wasn't as wild as Hartford. And I thought with the gorge, you have people camping so they can just drink as much as they want. And I thought it was going to be a little more lit from an like just from like a party perspective. It was good. I mean, people were having a good time, but I think that's what I like about the Northwest though is it wasn't a bad thing because balance is awesome. Too many hardcore fans is a bad thing at a show, at a football game, a hockey game. It was nice that people just said, you know what? I love DMB. I don't know every single song they play, but this is a freaking awesome weekend and we're gonna have a ball. We're gonna bring the kids, bring our parents, bring our children, our older adult children. It's just awesome people, awesome time. So friendly, over the top friendly. Someone said hi to me. I'm like, yo, what's the problem, fam? Like, wait, don't be saying hi to me. I'm a brother driving by myself to the gorge, fam. Like, I don't know what y'all want with me. Anyway, just someone like I'm driving, windows are down because I'm trying to hear a parking attendant. Someone's like, "Hey," I was like, look over. Oh, how's it going, man? I'm like, I don't know, but he's just saying hi, man. Like, it was awesome. The hospitality. I've never been to the Northwest, but it's just like the Midwest. It's just like the South. I'm guessing just Southern California, Vegas, which I've been to Vegas. Southern California, Vegas, and the Northeast are just mean people, and everywhere else in America is nice. And that's not everyone. There's nice people all across the Northeast that I've met, but there's just an attitude overall with people. Excuse me, guys. There's just an attitude overall, people from the Northeast that you just have. So, but just great people that went out of their way to say hi, to just chat, talk to some people at the airport. Just they were from Canada and they got to be. I think they got to go side stage or backstage. Dave met them in Mexico. There was two kids and the parents, just like everyone else from Canada. I met very nice, very awesome, um, and you know, just a great people to talk to while I'm at the airport, getting to the from the rental car place to check into the airlines. So just great people. And that's the one thing I'll say. That entire week, um, first off, a couple of things that I'll just say that really helped me with this trip. I was not thinking about DMB Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. No offense to DMB. This is why. Your boy went to the Pacific Northwest in Oregon. So I got off the plane, drove 2.5 hours to Oregon. Why? Because I wanted to see the Pacific Ocean. And Oregon had the lit beaches and more beautiful. Like it was more of a like where I could have gone in Washington would have been more industrial and more townsy. I went to this beautiful beach, Delray like Recreation Center in Seaside, Oregon, or Recreation Park. This beach was freaking awesome. People are driving their trucks in SUVs all across the beach, friendly. Everyone's saying hi. A dog, he was like, I thought he was going. He saw my DMB shirt. He got so excited. He splashed in the water. It got a little on my pants. I didn't care. The vibes out there, Seaside, Oregon was dope. Stayed in Clackaney, I think it's like somewhere off of Route 30, the Clackaney River End. By the way, highly suggested. Great hotel, friendly people. Not a 5-star hotel, it's like a 3-star, but it felt like 5-star, just 5-star personalities. So I went to Oregon. I'm looking at all these freaking tall trees, the nature there. If you're from the East Coast, if you've never been out there, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Guatemala, I've been all across the globe. And the Northwest was just beautiful in its own way. And so I'm enamored by Oregon the first night. The first time, like I literally land at noon Pacific time. It's like 3 o'clock my time. And I'm just driving to the ocean, drive 2.5 hours to my hotel, then drive another hour to the ocean. Just beautiful. And then I was in Seattle for Tuesday. Wednesday, oh no, Tuesday, no, Tuesday I was in Oregon, sorry. Wednesday I went to Seattle, Yankees game. Awesome vibes in Seattle. Thursday I drove all the way across Washington State. And when I talk about you get a lot of different experiences, you get the mountains, Unami Pass. Woo, your boy was going downhill. Woo, like turning like a roller coaster. I'll talk about a joyride. Then you get to the plains. I didn't know they had plains. I knew there was dry parts of Washington. Didn't know they had plains like Kansas flat. And I'm a very geography type dude. Now I know. Um, it was flatter than I thought for most. I thought it was going to be a little part flat and some little rolling hills. It was flat for a lot of it. Get to Idaho. I drove 4.5 hours across from Seattle to Coeur d'Alene. And Idaho has these beautiful trees start coming back, beautiful scenery. Go to Coeur d'Alene Park and enjoy that for a little bit, just walking around. Did a fantasy football draft from Lake Coeur d'Alene. Oh my gosh, life was good. Okay, it's 4 o'clock or it's 4 o'clock Pacific time. My buddy's back home, but it's nighttime there, and I'm sitting by the lake drafting my players. Beautiful, and so if you can get there early and fly back Labor Day Monday. It helped me get used to the time zone. It got me distracted with nature. Okay, I wasn't sitting in the gorge campsite on a Thursday night like anxious because I'm there. I was I was in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene all the way up through even Friday morning. Your boy went to Spokane. I walked through this walking path through Gonzaga, through the Spokane River. I was doing all sorts of walking. I think I did 7 miles of walking between the gorge, getting there, like walking in the gorge lots, and about 2 or 3 miles in Spokane. If you can get there early and explore, if you've never been there, never been to the Northwest, do it. It will distract you from the fact that you have the biggest shows of your life. And Ground, I know you've been there, right? Ground in 27. Right. I couldn't get that Tuesday. I work in insurance. So I tried to do that, but yeah, that would make sense because the Tuesday flights. Monday, I literally flew out at like 5:23. Oh, you got it 5 times. Okay, so you're a bad. Okay, I thought because you always gave me advice, appreciate it because you were making comments in the. But it was just amazing to have that time zone change, be get used to it. And by the time I get to the gorge, and the other thing, and I'm sure Ground, if you ever flew in on a Friday, people were saying I got my rental on Tuesday like that. There was no issue. There was no like the rental was there. There was no line. I heard Friday that there were lines at every rental desk, which makes sense. You don't just have or you did the Labor Day red eye back twice. Yeah, yeah. It meant this entire work week I was just and I live 3 miles from my job. You know, like yeah, I don't even live that far, but I was just like out of it. I left my wallet at home with my badge for work Thursday. It wasn't even like Wednesday. It was Thursday. I had to make up time, which my boss was cool about. And but the rental lines and stuff on that Friday, people said it was nightmare. I don't know where they were, what time they flew in, but I heard it was crazy. So it was nice to just, all right, I'm driving around. I had hotels in different spots, and I know that I have my hotel booked and ready. And I was in Moses Lake, and but it was great vibes. And then you get to the shows, and people are just so laid back and nice and chill. And that was why it was good. I would rather have that than have a bunch of hardcore East Coast fans come in and you have more but even the people who came to the East Coast, everyone was just so nice and chill. And the driving down there, I've been told this. I was warned. Thank you to Pilgrimage to the Gorge. The folks out there warned me, dude from Boston who goes to the Gorge often. Because in Connecticut and Boston, I mean Massachusetts, right? There's so much going on. I mean, there was boats, I mean, fishing and different events, and you have people that are just doing travel. Yeah, so getting early is a big thing. But oh, November Hawaii. Um, yeah. I mean, I did South Africa, and that's about the same as Hawaii as far as time zones. I don't know if there's three because you're on the East Coast, right? In Ohio. So 3, 4. Because yeah, I was messed up in South Africa. That was a 20-hour flight with my mom who has motion sickness, and it was like layovers too. So it was about 24 hours of flying. Yeah, you're the same as me talking. Yeah, I'm a time zone nerd too. I can tell, like I know West Lafayette, Indiana is the central time zone, but Indianapolis Eastern. I know Northern Idaho is Mountain Time. No, Northern Idaho is Pacific Time. Southern Idaho um, Southern Idaho is Mountain Time. And then in Arizona, the Navajo nations don't recognize daylight saving. They do daylight savings time, but they don't do daylight savings time for the rest of Arizona outside of some of the reservations. And I know like the time zone splits in Tennessee as well. Like for instance, Chattanooga is East Coast, but Nashville is Central. And like so, I'm a time zone nerd like that. I don't know every city, but I know kind of where some of the splits are there. But anyway, I don't want to get too daylight savings is trash. Yeah, they be messing me up. Um, and plus, John, you're on the cusp. But the thing is with you, John, is you're very close to the Eastern time zone out there in Tennessee, outside of the greater Nashville area. I ain't gonna sit and tell people where you live. I don't want no one pulling up to yo, where John at? Oh, he live in this town? Yeah, sit and shoot it. The goon's gonna come. But yeah, like you're at that cusp of the time zone where the opposite, my boy from Detroit, not Detroit, what's it called? He's outside of Detroit, but they get the late Eastern time zone. So yeah, your daylight savings time sucks the most because you literally drive what an hour. You drive an hour east, and you're in the Eastern time zone for general. Anyway, it does work to get there earlier, and I didn't mind that Labor Day flight. I like the early flight. One crazy thing I did, and if you guys want to chime in, Groton or John Diggs, your boy did the Sunday night. Okay, so Sunday night, the Gorgeous, and it is on Watchtower. My whole drive was messed up, but that was the breaking moment. That's when I had the crazy moment. Um, Leaving that show, and I'm like, the one thing I said is, as long as I don't get a Watchtower one song, like I don't think I said one song on Christmas, like as long as they don't end on Watchtower for the weekend. I kept saying it all weekend. The boys ended on Watchtower. So I was going to the lot, like I'm like, first of all, what? Well, yeah, someone joked longest encore gorgeous. I did hear see that. Who was wild and more? Oh yeah, John was disappointed because for his backstory, John went to SPAC for the first time. I'm hyping it up. You know, everyone had been hyping up SPAC for John. I'm like, yo, it's like the Fenway Park of venues. They had the lit shows. You know, we got two step last year. We got a big eye fish and bartender. First time Buddy was on bartender. You know, like I'm hyping it up. And he's sitting there and like SPAC night two, just like, yeah, it was like on a scale of like to whack, dope in the middle is it was But the thing with the encore too is this: that encore, they oh yeah, the poster was trash night two of SPAC. Um, but the encore for the Gorge Night three, they did not play the house music right away. I thought they were coming back. People were like waiting there. Some people were just out of there. And that's the other thing too with the gorge is first of all, there's no traffic jams more than 10 or 15 minutes. And people are rushing out. I don't know if they was trying to get back to the campsite to get lit at the campsite with some other stuff, do some other activities, allegedly, with some special substances that weren't marijuana. I don't know, allegedly. Certain powders, I don't know. But people were piecing out every night of the gorge. Like, yo, there was no traffic. Like you wait 10, 15 minutes, people are letting you in. I've never been let out of a venue when you're stuck in the line and you're like trying to back out. People are like, oh yeah, come on, wave at me back. I'm like, what? People were so anyway. That encore was trash. Okay, even if they would have played last year, I know they ended on Cornbread. So last year's Gorge night three, they ended on Cornbread. Even if they just played something, okay, I would have been a little. It kind of had me messed up. Okay, I was sad. I'm like, this is how I'm gonna end my DMV year. For those of you who don't know, Watchtower has a it's a fan favorite for people. I don't care for it. I don't care for it. I just I don't. It's so predictable. That's the thing. It's so predictable. Yes, it's high energy, but it's just it's. I don't care. No reason to be excited. Oh my god! Like maybe if the boy Hendrix came back and did it his way, like came back from the grave, I would love it. Like every time Dave does Watchtower, Hendrix comes back and goes for him. I would love Watchtower then. But I don't know what it is, man. I don't care for Watchtower. And and here's the thing: as much as I complain about the sets in the encore, the crowd was the loudest during Back in Black, the mashup, was okay. I don't think it needs to stay more than this year. It was a spontaneous moment when it first came, but I don't care. But Back in Black, and this shows how fair, like how lack of knowledgeable the fans were of the deep cut. The Back in Black moment got tons of cheers. People are going lit that I never even knew were talking. They didn't talk the entire lawn set on the lawn the entire night except Back in Black. Um, John Ditch, yeah, burning down the house. Is that an '08 cover? I got it in 11. Or no, I got it in 12. No, 14, not 12. 12 was the first year I went. I didn't go. For 2014, I got it. But I mean, Back in Black and Watchtower got more. It got more. It got more excitement than Pig did in the back of the lawn. And I was down low for Pig, but just like, oh yeah, into the black, yeah, hey, my Modi, yeah, I love Floyd. Although I don't think people want them to do. People want Dave to do a bunch of. Yeah, Watchtowers. I mean, they make it their own. They make it their own. I know it's not a cover, but still, I don't care for it. Jimmy thing, and that's the other thing. Jimmy thing. My favorite part of Jimmy thing was the trade off between him and the trade off between him and the trade off between Buddy. After that, wrap it up. Okay. You think my videos are long? Jimmy thing is way too long. Okay. And the problem is when they're obliged to do Jimmy thing, and then you have a sexy MF, and then you have a Black in Black. You could have played Say Goodbye. You could have played The Stone. You could have played Joyride. You could have played a lot of songs. Time of the Season. Okay. That night three, because Jimmy was left on the table till night three, because they decided to start off with, "Ooh, funny the way it is," huh? Which is a great. I actually don't mind. Last night it had good placement to me. A couple songs in, "Funny the Way It Is" dope. The opener, nah. And then That Girl Is You. Oh my gosh, was that night three? I think it was night three. Yeah, I don't like that song to me. Bye, get out of here. Trouble, get behind me. No, That Girl Is You, get behind me. Then we got Graves though, and then we got Men Arrested recently, the Monkey, which again cool. And then Stay or Leave, Write a Song. That was awesome. You Might Die Trying earlier on the set. That was awesome. That was cool as well. And then the Samurai Cop, yeah, whatever. It's better with the Les Paul Jr. that he has. It's a redder guitar, and it has like a special pickup location. Hands of God was Lying in the Hands of God, low key was like that's one of my favorite new Buddy era songs. And I've loved the song. I even love the older version, which I know why people went to sleep during and didn't like it. I just love how unique it is. Jeff Kaufman sounds great on the soprano. But that was one of the highlights of night three. Bigger than the Proudest. Like Proudest Monkey was cool, but people were talking during. Like the crowd wasn't like, "Oh yay, Proudest Monkey!" Ooh, like there were fans that were excited, but a lot of people were like, "Whatever." Like, okay, yeah, you're right. Talking this is one of the best songs to highlight this current lineup. She. This is another thing I had wrong with night three. She. Why do we have to have a oh, we're gonna have a guest come out for She. Woo! Like, unless you have Pearl Jam come out because it sounds like a post grunge song or a grunge song, or a Seattle song like rock song. Like, unless you're gonna have Pearl Jam come out, and that would be cool, just to have Pearl Jam come out. Don't do She. Oh, this trumpet played on the. He said something like the trumpet played. Yeah, the kid on. Yeah, so the person that the trumpet that came out, he was in the studio and recorded parts of that of the studio album with Rashad. So they're like, hey, we gotta feature him and he's here. Like, no, Joe Fogan, whatever. It is a good trumpet player, but I don't care. That's what's gonna be highlighted. Let's highlight Say Goodbye. Let's highlight Joyride, okay? Like she was whatever. Then they had So Right Raven 41. Woo! Just killing them, knocking it out of the park. That was a great run. Always one of Dave's daughter's friends. Oh, okay. That's why. Okay. So he wanted the kid. Put the kid on Say Goodbye. I know there's no trumpet on there, but put the kid on the last stop. Like, bring him out night one. Do the extended outro, which I didn't care about. I got the last stop. That was the last song I needed for Before These Crowded Streets. To be a 2012er starting off and to get Before These Crowded Streets out the way, to get Dreaming Tree and Spoon, like I said, back-to-back nights, the third and fourth shows of my existence was a blessing. So I'm glad I got Before These Crowded Streets out. I don't care about they send an outro. Would it be nice to have it? Yeah, but whatever. But yeah, it just night three was disappointing. Oh, he guested last year, bro. Okay, thanks for the insight. Okay, so he was there last year. I thought I saw Dave's kids on the side of the stage night two. Um, my left stage right, I could kind of see. I didn't take pictures because I just out of respect. That's the children or whoever was there. They didn't look like an adult. And I don't care about, I'm not a tabloid person. So I didn't take any photos. I just out of respect. You could kind of see them for part of it where I was. I was all the way to the right or stage left. They were stage right all the way to my left. I haven't listened to the '09 Hartford version. I do know that was the debut of the song. Off to hear it, but that song it just has such a mysticky, eerie. I mean, in the Big Whiskey era, in the 3.0 era, it just stands out like a thumb, which is a good thing. It's not the heavy rock, like yo, chill, slow it down, Dave. I know you amped up, all right, but you're not a rock star. But like that, the lying in the hands of God is just it's a journey, it's a spiritual journey. The poster night two, the poster night two, woo, the poster night two thing. People were lined up at 2, 3 o'clock. Usually the pit is the big draw. The Sperry poster for night two with the girl that he's been making iterations of was madness. Was mad. I mean, they were sold out. Oh yeah, 400 plus on eBay and ground. I don't know if you're a part of the DMB poster community groups. People were throwing that day, and I didn't feel like I was thinking about it for my boy John, but then I just was like, he didn't want it. But and plus money was tight because for me personally, because I'm like, whoa, this is more expensive. Gas was crazy out there. Then they gave me an SUV. They upgraded me to SUV, which was cool. But the gas mileage, I was supposed to get like a Nissan Altima. So the gas killed me because I drove over 1,000 miles. I drove 1,169 miles last week because I was trying to explore it. So by all that stuff, my extra spending money, that just to be financially solvent and smart, be like, all right, Christmas is coming up. Not that I buy a bunch of gifts, but just to be ready. This economy, living in Connecticut, all the taxes, like just be ready for some crazy stuff to happen. Tolls, taxes on air from, but Gas was like 320, 330. I was like, what? Yeah, the miles add up. But long story short, this poster was sold out. People had 2 or 3 and 4 posters. Now, to be honest, what scared me, and now I understand, poster buyers will buy a lawn seat 40, $50. Now they got these taxes, the Grant County tax. By the way, the largest producer of potatoes out of any county in the United States. Grant County puts a little tax in there, whatever. So it ends up being around 60 something or whatever. I can't remember what it was. But it's over 50, it's about 60, almost 70. They were people, they do this all the time with the popular venues, Alpine SPAC. I see why they buy like a popular poster. They buy it and they don't go to the show or they go back to the campground. They buy it and they lock that son of a gun up, in their car with a GPS tracker on it, and they go back in with the regular seat. It, I mean, some of these people with posters in tight areas, like night 2 was the hardest night to get out of the gates because there was just so many people. I don't know if it sold out or not, but it felt like a sellout. Like it just was crazy. It was like Mumford and Sons after their first 2 albums sell out, even though Mumford and Sons makes the same song over and over. But like it was crazy. If someone wanted to rob if someone wanted to just snatch a poster, some people had the thing with a sling over their back and like the poster was really secure. But in these crowds, people had 2 or 3 posters hanging and backpacks and stuff. If someone wanted to rob somebody, and not even rob like just snatch it and run, I would have poster anxiety, and that was my worry. If I wasn't getting it from my boy John, I couldn't just the pressure of having such a valuable poster would have been just nerve wracking that entire show. I wouldn't be able to enjoy the show as much if I had 2 posters because I would have had one for me and then one for my boy if he wanted one. But like I couldn't do it. I couldn't buy, and I didn't. I was already there too late. But I mean, those posters that I think around 4 o'clock they were sold out. They had to be at 3:34. The poster was gone. I mean, people were lined up for early entry just for the not for the pit, for the poster. People were getting further back in the pit with their poster just because the poster was more valuable. They had a good number draw from the warehouse, let's say, but they got there early and had a good spot for the regular people coming in the pit. They stayed at the back, they stayed over. It's crazy. Anyway, the poster thing was interesting, and I mean, all sorts of trades. People were trying to trade 3 and 4 different posters for that Sperry. I mean, it was just wild seeing some of these trades. People were trying to poster buy, give someone $300. You buy your own poster, you buy my poster, keep the change. Like it was crazy what was going on with just for this poster, and people are still trying to trade for it. But it's already been 43 minutes, so I need to get off. But overall, I will talk more about the shows and the sound. I made some comments on my Twitter about the sound of the band. We'll do more of that next week. But what I'll say is this: as much as I was upset about Watchtower, as much as I hate these covers, stop cover Dodo. And I know they only do a couple a night. Like in night 1, I don't think they really. In the Maker, I love it. I had the Maker for the first time. Some people don't like it, but it's so rare that it was just awesome. I just felt like one of those moments. I felt like I was overlooking. It's dark, and you see the beautiful hill, and you're at the gorge. And that Maker, I felt like I was in a movie. Just a very calm and humbling moment to hear the Maker at the gorge, first night at the gorge. We'll talk about the sound. We'll talk about the sets, but again, my Dave impression is, what did we didn't get this, and this. Now the silver lining is I did hear a lot of the songs I didn't get in this past year. I heard The Stone in Mohegan. I heard Kill the King at Mohegan. I heard Say Goodbye at Mohegan. Oh my God, like, the Mohegan show was more lit than any other show in the Gorge. I did hear Drunken Soldiers. Drunken Soldier. I keep saying Soldier. I did hear it at the Gorge. It did make a comeback. I got the rooftop to hear it again. It's a dope song, one of the few good songs off of Away from the World. Got the Funky Raven finally in the Buddy Strong era. I got the Funky Raven. I wanted Joyride. I wanted Fool to Think. I thought that would be another song they kind of whip out in SPAC in at the Gorge. Didn't get that. I wondered what you are. I knew that was a long shot. I would love to hear shotgun anytime, anywhere, but I knew shotgun wasn't realistic. But I don't know. Then we'll talk more about the sets and the stuff that's frustrating me in the next show, Saturday night stream, and maybe a possible video during the week. But great trip. Thank you for all the advice. Go if you have the chance to go. Go to the Gorge. If you have a chance to go, the lawn is fine. You may think you're missing out on something. You may wish you're closer. And if you get in early, you can get a nice lawn seat. Also, half sack, you were there night 2. They missed out on night 1. Gotcha. But that Cortez, and maybe we'll talk more about that the next stream. Man, Warren Haynes. Look, I've been blessed. The only 2 times I've seen Warren Haynes last Beacon show run with the Auburn brothers posted behind me. And I wish I would have went to more Auburn brothers shows. They went to Hartford. They're the second most. They've performed. Only person that's performed more at the Comcast Xfinity Theater in Hartford is DMB. Number 2 is the Auburn brothers. But I wasn't into them. I was more into BB King and some other people when they were touring heavily. Then I got into Auburn brothers, and then they pretty much that was it. The year before they stopped touring, that's when I got heavy into them. Fillmore East, just all those stuff. Eat a Peach. And, but anyway, long story short, the only 2 times I've seen Warren Haynes, they've been big time events. The first of the last shows at the Beacon the Auburn brothers ever did as an official band, and now at the Gorge for DMB. Cortez, dude is just a. We'll talk about it next week. Go to the Gorge. Go to the Gorge. Go to the Gorge. They could play trash that's even worse than me. Let's say they add a new album, and you don't even get like a Raven or a two-step because they have to go through all these crappy new songs Dave wants to write. It still is worth it. Great people. Shout out to Katie if you're watching. I think I hit you up about the stream. I met Katie there. We were both there by ourselves, and we just met up night 1. Hey, is this you taking? No. And she shared her blanket, and we started talking because I didn't bring a blanket. I was unprepared for that. I was like, all right, I'll find a spot on the lawn. I usually sit on the grass. I'm good. It didn't rain at the Gorge. Very dry there. It was so dry there. They were pouring water on the gravel because they didn't want forest fires. If you start your car in parts of these plains in the grass, you could start a fire. Patrick, what happened to your Michigan Wolverines? Y'all almost lost the Army, fam. Bro, y'all got to get it together. I didn't even watch the game because I'm like, I slept in. I was busy too. But I'm like, oh, Michigan's probably gonna they'll take care of it. Patrick, y'all gotta get it together. Harbaugh gotta get it together. Y'all almost lost double overtime versus Army, unranked Army. Huh? Anyway, I won't bag you too much. My UConn Huskies lost to Illinois. I was just glad we were in the game. We had a lead versus a Big Ten team. I don't care if it's Illinois. We will put a banner up that we had a lead versus a Big Ten team. We got it pick 6. Okay. Anyway, go to the Gorge. Go to the Gorge. Go to the Gorge. Let me get out of here so that I can take care of some other stuff. Got to practice for my gig tomorrow at church. Playing in the band at church. So I got to get those songs down. It's your boy ConstantViz 34. Patrick, we will talk later. But yo, Michigan, I didn't even see the game. I'm like, what? Double overtime versus Army? The Army of Ohio State or the Army of Alabama? Crimson Tide? No, Army, just Army. And shout out to the military. I've been out there to West Point. Thank you for those who served, but Army. Okay. Anyway, this is what happens with college football. You have a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and, you have these games. You overlook them. They're thinking about the girls they're going to get after the game, okay? versus Army, and you got to be careful because Army does have they'll put up a fight. They're America's finest and bravest, and don't underestimate them. So anyway, that's all I got. It's your boy ConstantViz34. Like, comment, subscribe. IG ConstantViz34. Twitter ConstantViz34. YouTube ConstantViz34. I am out. Peace.